All right, today I'm going to talk about inequalities. Okay, so write down inequalities and we will go over what they are and how to write them. So the symbols for inequalities, and remember you can always pause the video if I go too fast, okay? So the symbols for inequalities, you've actually done inequalities, you just may not have known that's what they were called. Okay, so the inequality symbols look like this. This is less than. This is greater than. So make sure and write these down. Now, ones you may not be familiar with are less than or equal to. So if it has a less than sign and then half of an equal sign, that's because it's less than or equal to a number. If it's greater than with a line underneath, then it's greater than or equal to. So remember to pause the video if I go too fast. Okay, so those are the symbols we need. And I'm sure you were taught in elementary that it eats the bigger number. Okay, so if you can remember that, I probably won't use that a lot. But as we go down, is the inequality true? So we're going to start with this. So you maybe just put true question mark. Okay. So remember when we plug and chugged for our expressions, we're going to do the same things for the inequalities. So x minus 4 is greater than 7 when x is 10. So we're going to plug that in for the x. So 10 minus 4 is greater than 7. Well, what is 10 minus 4? 10 minus 4 is 6. Is 6 greater than 7? No, it's not. So this would not be true. Okay, so you just plug it in and then you see if it's true. 5y, now remember that 5y means 5 times y. So 5, whoops, went too far. 5 times y is less than 12 when y is 2. So we're going to plug the 2 in. Remember to put it in parentheses or put 5 times 2. Don't just put 5 2 because then it looks like 52. 5 times 2 is less than 12. Well, what is 5 times 2? 5 times 2 is 10. Is 10 less than 12? Yes, so that is true. Now, inequalities have many solutions because not only would 2 be a solution, but so would 1, and so would 0, and so would -1, lots and lots of numbers, okay? 6 plus z is greater than 10 when z is 4. So 6 plus 4 is greater than 10. Is 10 greater than 10? No, it's not. It's equal to 10. So to make that true, it would have to look like this. Is it greater than or equal to 10? Or it could say less than or equal to 10. So then we put 6 plus 4. Is that greater than or equal to 10? Yes, it is. So this would be a yes, where this one over here would be a no. Okay? So that's where the greater than or equal to comes into play. So let's do some writing. So we're going to write some expressions, equations, and inequalities. We're going to focus on the inequalities, but we're going to throw some expressions and equations in there so you can see the difference. Okay, so remember, equations are going to have an equal sign. An inequality is going to have less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to, and expressions won't have any of those, okay? So, 23 plus y. So this is going to be an expression because it just says 23 plus y. So that would be all we would write, 23 plus y. 23 plus y is 12. That is our equal sign. Okay, so you're going to say 23 plus y is 12. So now it's an equation. So this is an expression. This is an equation. I'm just going to abbreviate. And then I bet the next one's going to be an inequality. What do you bet? 23 plus y, 23 plus y is greater than or equal to 12. So now it's greater than or equal to 12, and that's an inequality. So that is what's going to look like an inequality. So that's the difference. Expressions don't have an equal sign or an inequality. An equation has an equal sign, and inequality has one of the inequality signs. A truck cannot be more than 4 tons. It cannot be more than 4 tons. So pause these and write these down because it'll help you. To cross a bridge. So here is our truck. Our truck is X. It cannot be more than 4 tons. So it can be less than 4 tons. So our truck can be less than 4 tons. And it can be equal to 4 tons, but it can't be greater than 4 tons. So this is what it would look like. X is less than or equal to 4. There's a 25 mile per hour speed limit. Now don't overthink this. Don't think, well, actually you can probably drive 27. I get that, but what is this saying? This is saying that the limit, so here's your car driving down the street. You are not supposed to go more than 25 miles an hour. Can you go exactly 25? Yes. Can you go less than 25? Yes. And you have to think, this is your car. Your car has to go less than or equal to 25 miles per hour. Always put the variable first and it'll help. Okay. The product, remember product is multiplication. The product of 15 and z is, remember is an equal sign, 56. So the product of 15 and z, so you can put them right next to each other. If that bothers you, you can put the dot, or you can do 15 parentheses z. Any of these are good. Just don't put the x, because then it looks like xz. 5 is not more than x. So this is going to be an inequality again. 5 is not more than x. So it has to be less than x. Okay, if it's not more than, then it has to be less. And it's okay to switch these around. So x is less than 5. Does it say it can be equal to 5? Okay, if it's not more than, then it can be equal. This is probably the trickiest one. X is less than or equal to 5. Okay, the value of x is at least 1. It's at least 1, so that means it could be 1 or more. Okay, so here's our x, and then our value of x is at least 1. So it can be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. So it's going to be x is greater than or equal to 1. Greater than or equal to 1. Ooh, I left a lot of space for that one. The value of x, these are important ones. Okay, so make sure and write these down. The value of x is at most 8. So if this is x, if it's at most 8, that means it can't be more than 8. So it can't be 9. It has to be, it could be 7, 6, 5. So x is at most 8. Okay, so it has to be less than or equal to 8. Okay, so what do you think this one's going to be? The quotient of x and 15 is 25. The quotient of x and 15 is 25. So quotient, if you don't remember, is division. So the quotient of x and 15 is, remember, is an equation, is 25. Now, remember, I don't love you writing it like that. You need to get used to writing it as a fraction. X This is x divided by 15 equals 25.